This video is sponsored by Squarespace. What's up, bodyweight warriors? Welcome back to another video and another follow along. Today we're going to be doing part number 3 of the Big 5 Flexibility series, in which we're going to focus on a beginner's guide to the middle split. We're going to be working based on the secret to flexibility, which I covered in an entire video that you can watch here. But for today, you're not really going to need any equipment or anything. We just need some space. I would recommend having a couple of yoga blocks or cushions to make your life a little bit easier, and is the perfect routine to do as a short add-on at the end of your training session. Right, without further ado, let's jump into it. We're going to kick things off with a quick warm-up as before. Starting seated with the feet just outside of shoulder width, we're going to do hip swivel. So we're going to drop both knees to one side. When we do this, we're going to try and keep the torso facing forward. And we're going to reverse it, swivel back to the back to the right hand side. We're going to do 10 of these in total. Nice, slow, controlled. Kind of just let gravity pull your knees down into internal and external rotation. As much as possible, we want to think about keeping our shoulders facing forward. So our hips and lower back get loosened up and they do the work. It's about halfway now. And then because today we're looking at the middle splits, we're going to be focusing on developing flexibility for the adductors. So the second position we're going to take a look at is going to be something for the glutes and then the tailor pose. So we're going to swivel for the last time on each side, so just the right hand side, and then we're going to finish on the left hand side. Now I want you to rotate forward, and we're going to go into a glute stretch of this front leg. So right hand on left foot, we're going to hinge forward, pulling the belly button forward until we feel a stretch on this glute of this front leg. Very simply, we're going to perform a couple of reps of PNF here. So we're going to press the knee down into the ground, hold for 5 seconds. So I'm going to try and push down to the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale and go forward. And then from here, we're going to perform another rep of PNF. And for this effort, we're going to try and push the foot in the direction that Molly just ran. So I'm going to press my foot towards the camera. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And again, I'm going to exhale and try to go a little bit deeper. We're just going to hold this last position now for 5 seconds. And we'll do exactly the same thing on the other side. Perfect. So back to the center, swivel around, come forward into that glute stretch. So we're going to try and roll the hips, try not to round the back. We're going to pull the belly button forward. And again, we're going to perform 2 reps PNF. So I'm going to think first, knee down into the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, go a bit deeper. Try to think of that sternum going over the front knee. I'm going to try and push my foot towards you, direction of the camera. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax a little bit deeper. I'll hold this again for about 5 seconds in total. Molly, as always, wanted to be the star of the show. That's perfect. So we're going to come back now to the center, bring the feet together, and move into a tailor's pose. The Molly seat. For this one, we're going to just grab hold of the feet in both hands, and we're going to try, first of all, to pull the hips forward. So I'm going to pull my belly button forward, and I'm going to use my elbows to press down onto my shins. So I'm actively giving this position a little bit of stretch. From here, what we can do is I'm going to think about trying to actively pull my knees up into my elbows.
So I'm contracting the adductors, or the inside of the thigh.
I'm going to pull them up for a couple of reps. So lift up for 5 seconds. You can do this quite hard, quite firm into your elbows. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. I'm going to use my elbows to press my knees a little bit deeper. Thank you for sitting here, mate, by the way. It's very, very convenient. 1 more rep. Lift them up into your elbows. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Make sure you use those elbows to go deeper on each rep. Should feel a good stretch in the adductors. So hold this one. 4. We're going to hold this on for another 10 seconds. And then staying in this tailor pose position, go from holding the feet, we just walk the hands a little bit further forward. And then what you want to try and think about here is trying to reach forward with the hands, but also pull the knees down in an active position. We're just going to hold this for another sort of 10-15 seconds just to like finish up this particular exercise. Now, as this is just a warm-up, you know, I'm not expecting you to be super flexible. I'm not super flexible myself, but ideally we want to be able to get this into a full tailor pose position. So knees down to the floor as we work on our front squat. It's a good first goal to get towards. So the last part of today's warm-up, we're going to do a horse squat. So you want to be standing, and to perform that, we start with feet together. We rotate heels out first, toes out. So that's 2 steps. Heels out again. That's 3. Toes out and heels out. This is our 5-step horse stance. So reasonably wide straddle, toes facing forward. Just going to sink down as far as we can, pulling the knees out, come back up. So we're going to do 10 nice slow controlled reps, and this is the final part of our warm-up. So again, torso stays nice and upright, knees come out, legs come down. If you feel that you can only get down to this sort of range, then all we're going to do is do 1 less step. So I'm going to turn my heels in, that would be a 4-step, feet in, that would be a 3-step. The feet less wide, the easier it is. So 10 reps in total, all the way down to at least parallel. Nice. Slow, controlled, thinking about pulling the knees out. Then the hips come forward. Nice and slow. Little pause in the bottom. A few more reps here. And we're getting to the main bread and butter of this routine. So last rep here. Perfect, we can come down into a kneeling position or whatever is comfortable for you, and we're going to do the first part of this strengthen and lengthen combination. And for the first part, we're going to replicate, not Molly because she's a girl, but we're going to do a pitting dog exercise. This one was introduced by Emmett Lewis. It's about focusing on strengthening the glute to pull yourself into more of a middle split position. So we're going to come down, not on all fours. We're going to have left arm on the elbow, right hand supporting. We're going to try and lift the right leg up as high as we can do. One thing to note here, the most important thing about this one is that when we lift up, we don't want our foot to go in the air. We want to think about lifting the knee up as high as we can. So the foot always wants to remain below the knee. We're just going to hold that position. You should feel this glute working. We're going to perform 5 reps of a 5-second hold on each side, and that is going to be our strengthening one. This one is harder than it first appears. So let's begin. Left arm down, so left arm on the elbow, right hand supported. 5 reps of 5 seconds. You're going to try and lift as high as you can. So lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax down, take a short rest in between. And again. Lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And again. 3 more reps. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When you're lifting the legs up, try to not lean backwards onto this left-hand side. Try to keep the hips pushing forward and open. So lift again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And last rep here. We've got 1 more side to do. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Let's swap sides now. So exactly the same position. Right elbow comes down, left hand is supporting. You're going to lift that left hand side, rotate into it, high as you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Second side is definitely harder because your glute is still working on that assisting side. Okay, lift that again out as high as you can with the knee. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back down. 3 more reps here. Lift up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back down to the starting position. Last 2. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Remember, not trying to fall backwards, making sure you're pushing the hips towards your straight arm, the left arm in this instance, and trying to open the hips further. Last one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. We're going to take a short rest before we go into the second drill, which is the lengthening exercise. And for that one, we're going to do a middle split side out. So this one is not necessarily about reaching max range on your first goes, but it's about understanding the position of your middle split and how the hips want to be. So for this, we're going to start again in that horse stance position, and I'm going to use some yoga blocks here to give myself some support. Equally, you could hold on to a chair, and that would be quite good, or a kitchen side or something that's going to give you some ability to balance. We're going to try and sink the hips down as low as we can. Think about pulling the knees out, and I'm just going to let the feet slide out, but keeping the legs bent and keeping the hips low. Until I feel that I'm getting a little bit of stretch, and we're just going to do 1 rep of PNF. So I'm going to try and basically squeeze my feet into the ground. So I'm using my adductors, squeezing as hard as I can. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then I'm going to let my feet slide out a little bit further. So I'm going to come now, hands onto the floor. Legs can go straight if you want to. I'm going to do 2 more reps. So I'm going to press down again, 5 seconds, building up towards maximum effort. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then let those feet wiggle that bit further. Last rep here. So squeeze those feet down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Try to relax a little bit deeper. I'm going to hold this last position just for 5 seconds. Beautiful. And then we try to elegantly slide out of it. So we're going to take now 20-30 seconds rest before we repeat those 2 again. I'm going to show you a slightly more advanced version of the pissing dog exercise to begin with. So if the bent leg was too easy for you, all I want you to do is go from this bent leg position, and then you're going to try and straighten out the leg. But the most important thing is, if you go from here, try to straighten the leg, and the leg drops below 90 degrees, there's really no point in straightening the leg. You're going to get more benefit of trying just to lift that knee high. As your glutes get stronger in that abducted position, we can then work on extending the leg. So, round 2, are you ready? I'm not sure I'm ready. Okay, we're going to start on the right hand side. Same thing again. So kneeling, straight arms, left arm comes down, and so now we're going to do 5 reps, 5-second hold. If you want to try and extend the leg, you can go for the extended leg. I'm going to give it a go. And then yeah, let's go. 5 reps. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Little rest in between. Again, you can kind of build this up as a scale as well. So if we lift again, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. For example, the straight leg's harder, the bent leg's easier. We can do the first couple of reps in a straight leg position. So if we lift again, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And as we get tired, as we're struggling to lift that leg up, we can then do, the last couple of reps, or even the last set in a bent leg position. 2 more reps. Lift up, extend if you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that last rep. Lift up, extend. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As you can see on that last rep, my leg was dipping below 90 degrees. So in reality, probably would have been better off using that bent leg. But we struggled on. Right arm down onto your elbow, left hand side now. Lift up, straighten the leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And back down. Maximum effort, lifting as high as you can. Left leg comes up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3 more reps. Molly has kindly brought a present to help out in the form of a rock. Lift up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more reps. So lift up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can see my foot slightly falling below 90 degrees on that last one, so I'm going to do my last rep here at the bent leg. So lift up again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. I'm going to take a short rest just for 30 seconds, and then we're going to slide on out into that side split position, again using that horse stance slide out. If the last round was a bit too intense for you in terms of we spent too long in that middle split position, you felt you were fidgeting, you were struggling, instead of doing the 1 rep with a few efforts of PNF, I want you to just do 1 rep, 1 PNF, slide out as far as you can, hold it for a little bit, come back up to the start position, and then do another one. So rather than hold 1 position for a long time, do 2 reps instead. Both will be just as effective. It's all about just making it so you can spend more time in a position. So let's get up, support ourselves on our hands, down into that horse stance position, and then with the weight on the hands, you're gonna let those feet slide out as far as we can into a bit of a stretch. You're gonna pause just before we get to the straight legs. I'm gonna try and squeeze the legs in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So slide out a little bit further after that contraction. And then we're going to perform again 2 reps of PNF, 2 more reps of PNF. So I'm going to try and press my feet down into the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let them slide out a little bit further. Last effort here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm just going to hold for 5 seconds. Longest 5 seconds. And we can walk the feet in and come back to that starting position. So one thing to mention here is we've talked about in all the other videos about testing your position at the end. So when it comes to testing, what I like to do here is use yoga blocks. Use a target to hit to. Can I touch a straight leg? Can the yoga block touch inside here? Or from even a little bit higher up, can I get a straight yoga block down to my knee? As I get further down, I can move the yoga block in, then I can shift to down. Having some sort of measurement, having some idea about how you're making progress is absolutely crucial for flexibility training. So that's just a quick, simple middle split routine to add on at the end of your training. It's going to look at initially strengthening the glutes to help open up the hips and also begin looking at what a good middle split position looks like. And if you want more details on that middle split, check out this video over here. Also over there, oh look, it's a Squarespace sponsorship. Squarespace is a powerful online platform that can host your website and host your own platform. It's something that offers members-only content so you can create revenue and build your business. In fact, it's what I've been using for my business for the past 6 years. There's a whole host of features, including direct contact with your members through things like email campaigns, something I use for the warrior archetype. If you want to find out more about this, then you can head on over and set up your website. And when you're ready to go live, you can use this link right here to save 10% off a website or domain. Thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. But that's basically it for this week, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Have a strong week. pace.